Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and Restless official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to Monday, March 24th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers needs to leave, Martin Lawson, also known as Alan Lawson, is suspicious, and Chancellor is about to have a revelation. YNR fans, here's all you need to know to stay informed. Phyllis, poor thing, feels human. The horrors of being imprisoned and on the verge of death will finally hit Phyllis. The globe can't contain enough cheeseburgers to quell that emotion. To whom will she turn? Phyllis does not want Summer Newman and Daniel Romalotti, her children, to perceive her as weak. This implies that she must look for someone else, and Billy Abbott is that someone. Phyllis is saved by Billy. Phyllis consents to let him assist her after these two ex-partners fall in love. Is the smoke we see in the distance related to these extinct flames? Martin raises concerns elsewhere. Martin is acting like Alan, the good twin, but this cannot continue indefinitely. Ever since she read the notices about the clinic, Tracy Abbott has been thinking about the strangeness that has entered their relationship. Tracy grows increasingly uneasy as she considers the hostage scenario at the shuttered Mad institution after learning about it from her nephew Kyle Abbott. Red flags are being raised by Alan. Alan is traveling to Paris on a commercial flight. Tracy's thoughts are disturbed. How could he abandon her? They are supposed to get together in a few days, but how will this farce actually play out? We inquire because Chance discovers something startling after seeing the CCTV tape from the hardware store. The moment of Chance witnesses Alan purchasing supplies for the bizarre chamber where Sharon and Phyllis were detained. Martin has a bullseye on his back once the specifics are finalized. He has committed twin impersonation and kidnapping. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Chance will be blown away as his inquiry takes steam, so come back here regularly and we will keep you posted on all the twists and turns in this soapalicious plot. Check in to see what's going on with YNR at the moment. Make us your favorite hotspot by returning frequently for news, updates, and spoilers for The Young and the Restless. Sharon dozed off at one of the tables on the terrace at Crimson Lights. Chance inquired about Sharon's whereabouts. She must have fallen asleep, she said. He looked quite dashing, she said. Had he changed his clothes? She questioned. Chance claimed to have spent the entire day in the suit, while Sharon asserted that he had on cords and a sweater. Summer came in. She hugged Chance. Summer was told by Chance that she looked fantastic. When Summer asked if Sharon was ready to leave, Chance and Summer were already embracing. Sharon, perplexed, inquired as to their destination. Chance announced that they would be celebrating the agreement she had reached between Chancellor Winters and Kirsten Incorporated. Abruptly, Sharon, Summer, and Chance found themselves at the athletic club's entrance, where Billy met them. Following Sharon's suggestion that they collaborate, Billy claimed that Kirsten's technology and Chancellor Winters' material would make for an amazing evening. Since Nick was the other half of the party, they couldn't begin without him, so Summer asked whether he was present. Chance said that it was unquestionably Sharon's reality when Sharon wondered if she was dreaming. Billy offered Sharon a drink of champagne at the bar. She overheard Summer telling Chance that the finest thing he could have done for himself had been to leave the police force. Chance credited Sharon with encouraging him as he was struggling with the notion. Billy gave Sharon a toast for being such a wonderful impact on everyone. Nothing made sense. Sharon informed Chance once Summer had moved aside and Billy had gone to socialize. She inquired as to when Chance and Summer had broken up and whether they were still dating. Since she had stated that she wasn't ready to fall in love, Chance informed her that they hadn't been together for some time. Chance acknowledged that it had taken him a while to move on from her, but he knew that only one person was suitable for Sharon, thus she had made the right decision. As Nick passed her, Sharon turned to look. She trailed behind him. She was about to approach Nick, who was at the bar, when she unexpectedly found herself in the jazz lounge. However, Phyllis approached him from behind and requested Nick to buy her a drink. "I'm waiting for someone," Nick said. "Would it be Sharon?" Phyllis inquired. "That wouldn't work again," she said. She claimed that Nick would never love Sharon as much as she loved him, regardless of how many times he had been drawn into her world. It would never endure, she claimed. Sharon pivoted. Abruptly, she found herself in the dining room of the athletic club. She seeing Mariah and Tessa at a table. Sharon sat down with them. Mariah inquired as to Sharon's confusion. Unaware of what was happening, Sharon assumed she was dreaming. Mariah urged her to assume command. Although Tessa asserted that Sharon's heart was remained hollow, Sharon assured Mariah that she had at last discovered her calling. After starting to sing, Tessa danced and sang her way out of the room. According to Mariah, Sharon was disturbed by what Tessa had said. Sharon claimed to be aware that Tessa didn't intend to offend her. Sharon said that although she was happy and her heart wasn't empty, she wasn't prepared to fall in love again because of everything that had happened to her. Although Nick had given her a lot of happiness. Sharon told Mariah that he had also caused her a lot of heartache. She had lost Ray, and she and Chance were at separate points in their journey. Sharon claimed to understand what it was like to be enamored. She claimed that Chance had not yet experienced that because he had been married to his profession for so long. Even with Abby, Mariah said, his work had taken precedence. According to Sharon, she had to let Chance leave since he would have to discover that connection. Sharon informed Mariah that Chance had always been enjoyable to be around and had always made her feel special. Mariah inquired as to whether Chance had served as a diversion. While dancing with Tessa, Adam asserted that they had all served as diversions for Sharon. According to him, Sharon was destined for only one life and one love, and they all knew who it was. According to Sharon, she was tired of hearing that Nick was the one. Why did everyone think that, she said. Sharon inquired as to whether anyone had forgotten how Nick had betrayed her and crushed her feelings. Given how frequently she had returned to Nick, Adam remarked it appeared to have healed itself rather nicely. Sharon claimed that although she had given Nick her whole heart, it had not been enough. According to her, Nick wasn't the only person she loved. She claimed to have had a wonderful life with Ray and to have felt deeply for him. Adam acknowledged that it had been strong and emotionally secure, but he questioned if it had actually been intense, untamed, and passionate. Adam asserted that he hadn't been Sharon's true love and that there had been more of a spark between them. Adam asserted that Phyllis had been Nick's dark temptation, whereas he had merely been Sharon's. He claimed that it was something else and unsustainable rather than love. Sharon took a stand and declared that her main goal was to celebrate a new and prosperous company. Chance and Billy at the bar poured her a glass. Chance claimed that Sharon had transformed a failing company that had been started by a monster into a force for good. He said that it was the first day of the joint venture with Chancellor Winters, which he and Billy were representing. The sky was the limit, according to Billy, because of Sharon Newman. Everyone cheered. Nick walked in holding Phyllis. Adam claimed that Sharon had a dream in which she could either lead or follow Nick. Abruptly, Sharon, Chance, and Billy were standing at the bar. She informed them that success was always the result of teamwork and that there was no such thing as a lone victory. The celebration is for all of them, she replied, raising her glass. Sharon watched Nick and Phyllis go while they drank. As Tessa sung, she noticed Summer and Chance dancing. Adam informed Sharon that it was her opportunity to quickly go. Billy invited her to accompany him. Billy and Sharon were taken to the coffee shop. Billy claimed that he had always admired Sharon since she had achieved all of her goals. According to him, Sharon had experienced a lot of hardships since she and her mother had been left on their own. These included a boyfriend who had abandoned her while she was pregnant, losing Cassie and Mariah without realizing she had twins, Cassie's death, Adam's head games, her bipolar disorder, cancer, Ray's premature death, Camryn, Kirsten and that nightmare, and all the heartache Nick had caused her, but Phyllis was primarily to blame. He claimed that Phyllis was Nick's weakness and that he was powerless to refuse her. Phyllis had known that, Sharon said. Sharon informed Billy that Phyllis didn't care who was harmed since she used her sexuality as a tool to achieve her goals. She said that Phyllis had pursued Nick during the time she and Nick were grieving Cassie, despite the fact that they needed to be together in order to recover as a family from such a devastating loss. She claimed that Nick had discovered Phyllis to be a haven where he could once again feel like himself after Noah was born. she claimed that she would never be able to forgive Nick and Phyllis for abandoning her during such a trying moment. Billy assured Sharon that they were aware of the costs that had been incurred by Sharon, Noah, and particularly Nick. He claimed that Nick's remorse was the reason he and Phyllis were never able to work together. Billy claimed that although Nick and Phyllis had enjoyed themselves, they had parted ways once it turned into work. Sharon declared that she was done talking about Phyllis. Nick and Phyllis entered giggling as Billy snapped his fingers. In her right hand, Billy asked Phyllis to pass him the deck of cards. He asked if she would like to lend him a help on the terrace. She concurred. Following Billy and Phyllis's departure to the patio, Nick asked Sharon to join him in dancing after selecting a song from the jukebox. Nick was asked by Sharon if he could recall the last time they had attempted it. According to Nick, he did. They had been at the altar, he claimed, prepared to say, "I do." Sharon claimed to have explained to everyone at the church why the wedding had not taken place. When Phyllis came in, she inquired as to whether that day would be recreated. Each of them took a position. Phyllis revealed the disastrous wedding of Sharon and Nick. And crowd that could not be seen cheered and applauded. As bride and groom, Nick apologized to Sharon, saying he had never intended to. "What?" Sharon said. "For me to learn?" Everyone knew, she claimed, therefore it was too late. If Phyllis had slept with Nick, Billy inquired. Phyllis requested permission to speak with Billy outside. When the celebration was just getting started, Sharon questioned why Phyllis was leaving. Billy questioned why they ought to leave. It was a private thing, Phyllis said. Billy claimed that since it was no longer a private affair, there was no need to rush outside to assure him of her innocence. Phyllis and Nick had believed they could get away with lying to both of them, Sharon informed Billy. Phyllis was questioned by Billy when it had occurred. After she and Billy had split up, she stated. That had only lasted a couple of days, Billy said. According to Sharon, she and Nick had only spent one night apart. Sharon shrugged, rejected Nick's invitation to accompany him, even though he grasped her arm. Billy expressed gratitude to Sharon for saving both his and his lives.